Starting yet?
We didn't spend money.
Okay. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Bailey?
Here.
Mr. Bateman?
Here.
Mr. Goodyear?
Here.
Mr. Hart?
Here.
Mr. Ori?
Here.
Vice Mayor Phelps? Mr. Ping?
Here.
Can we have a motion to excuse Vice Mayor Phelps?
I'll make a motion to excuse Vice Mayor Phelps from meeting today.
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Welcome, everyone. Tonight I will remember to introduce staff and guests. I apologize for last time. Director of Finance, Mark Medler. Assistant City Manager, Chris Weinich. Clerk of Council, Misty Clark. Our City Manager, Dave Kennedy. City Solicitor, Joe Braun. Our City Engineer, Kelsey Richards, who we are honored to have. We don't get you here very often. Chief of Police, Michael Gabrielson. We also have State Representative Karen Brownlee, who is here. So thank you for being here. She's going to speak to us in a moment. And former council members Todd Osborne and Pat Mayes. So welcome, everyone. And we will begin with you, Representative.
Good evening, Loveland City Council. I don't need to tell anyone in this room how important local government is. If you didn't agree, you wouldn't be here. Engaged citizens and accountable elected officials are how we ensure that government is of the people, by the people, and for the people. And while a lot of news and a lot of our attention is on national government, local politics matter. As your State House representative for District 28, and I do want to clarify here, I just get the Hamilton County portion, but I'll adopt the rest as much as you'll let me. I am proud to represent your needs. I love your engagement here, and I love hearing your perspectives. Prior to the State House, I was a community social worker, so I know how strong we are when we work together to support one another. My social work career was in community mental health, where I worked as a therapist to support the health and safety of our most precious resource, our children. Since children often do not have the agency to make change for better mental health, it was imperative that I also worked with their families, school systems, and the wider community around them to make the change needed. Within my clinical therapy work, I gained the skills needed to have courageous and often difficult conversations, to create collaboration between factions who disagree, and to truly listen and act in the interest of my young clients. These are some of the same skills I bring to the State House in the interest of our district. As you already know, I'm a Democrat and I work in a House that holds a 2/3 majority of Republican state representatives. With that, I'm working across the aisle to make sure that people in districts like this one have safe neighborhoods, quality schools, and economic growth. My bipartisan focus is not out of necessity, but because it is the right thing to do for democracy. Our district is a diverse one, and my goal is to include and not alienate. This focus on inclusion and representation is one of the many things that my family and I love about the Hamilton County suburbs and this district that I like to call the Great 28. But while working across the aisle and representing the whole community is very important to me, you can also count on me to stand up and advocate when it's required. And it's required now. I am deeply concerned about the current push at the state level to consolidate power at the state level and take away local control. The recent operating budget presents a very challenging climate for school budgets, for healthcare access, and public safety during a time when the need for our community is increased. Of greatest concern was a recent budget veto override, which removed local control over renewal and emergency levies, as well as the intention of the majority to override other budget vetoes concerning inside millage and local levy control for municipalities. And I invite you guys, when you hear about these things, if you have questions, to always reach out to me, to reach out also for my advocacy on your behalf, because your representation matters. It matters here in Loveland, and it matters in the State House. My greatest hope is that we work together in commitment to the future of Loveland and the entire Great 28 District. Many of you have served for a long time, and I honor and humbly request your guidance and your support on what matters most to Loveland and how I can positively impact those issues. I also offer my own guidance back to you. I know that some of the policies and the politics that come out of the State House are very complicated. And again, I invite you to call me or call my office so we can help however possible. Your engagement is what makes District 28 so great. Great for families, great for kids, and great for employers. I'm proud to represent for you, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. I want to thank you for your position and your advocacy on behalf of local governments, because that is something we're certainly concerned about, is the power grab, which has been going on for years from local governments. And also Representative actually has been here over an hour talking to city manager, assistant city manager, and myself about some things that we're looking at that I know you can't guarantee that you get us money, but I certainly feel very good that you're going to try as hard as you can to try to help us in this capital budget and down the road. So thank you for your time and for what you do on behalf of the city of Loveland. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome. And thank you back to you guys for your advocacy. And I also can't say enough for the Loveland schools, who have been an incredible advocate on behalf of education and kids, because I know you guys care about your kids so much in Loveland. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Osborne.
Todd Osborne, 1100 Sunrise Drive. Good evening, City Council and staff and those watching here and online. Whether it's been during the meetings of the Charter Review Commission, the Council Rules Committee, Law and Ordinance Committee, and other committees, I've been known to dig and do research on various topics. Ever since 2009, when Mary Kirby and myself created the Facebook page, You Know You're from Loveland If, periodically the topic of the Loveland time capsule surfaces. Questions like, where in the front yard is it? When does it get opened, etc., will be asked, especially by those who participated in the burial ceremony. In 1976, the Cincinnati Enquirer surveyed the regional governments on how they were celebrating the nation's bicentennial. And a few communities like Loveland were doing a time capsule. From researching the Enquirer's archive, the answer was published in September of 1976. On one page, there is a photo taken from in front of this building with the caption stating, Loveland children crowd around as Dr. Roland Boyke, president of the Loveland Chamber of Commerce, fills the Loveland time capsule July 4. The capsule is to be unearthed in 50 years. Also in the photo were City Manager Ray Nemi and Time Capsule Committee Chairman Greer Militzer, definite names from the past. The article portion regarding Loveland read, Loveland, Ohio is one of those towns that's using a burial vault, a small child's vault donated by a local funeral parlor. Gee, I wonder who that was. It was buried 3 feet down in front of the cornerstone of the new city hall. on July 4 and is to be unearthed in 50 years. So for $1, Lovelanders could buy a special envelope, put in it a letter from or letter to whomever they chose, and place the packet in the capsule. Most of the 30 who did so addressed their messages to grandchildren and heirs, some not yet born. So fast forward to today, some of these 30 then children have either remained in Loveland or have moved back. So next year, the time capsule, buried 3 feet below the cornerstone and under the front shrubbery, is slated to be open. Now the question arises, is it still there? Has it survived the various landscapings and weatherproofings of this building over the past 50 years? So that's the question to council and to city staff. Does it still exist? And if so, it lays ready to be open next year. Thanks.
Thank you. Andrew Frank?
Good evening. My name is Andrew Frank. I am a manager at Inferno Pressure Washing Solutions. Inferno Pressure Washing Solutions is founded right here in Loveland and is proud to call this community our home. Loveland shaped us, supported us, and gave us opportunities to grow, and we are honored to give back to the city that has given us so much. As a part of our commitment to community pride and public beautification, we would like to donate our professional cleaning services to the city of Loveland at no cost, focusing on one of our most cherished public spaces, Nisbet Park. We propose to professionally clean using appropriate soft washing and pressure washing methods the amphitheater stone walls and paver path/pad that's in front of the amphitheater, the Chief Candace M. Cook Firefighters Memorial, the stamped concrete floor, and the biker statue memorial out front of the bathroom pavilion. Our services will remove dirt, algae, stains, and debris, restoring the space so residents and visitors can enjoy them at their best. The benefits to the community include restores and preserves highly visible community landmarks, creates a cleaner, safer, and more welcoming environment for residents and visitors, enhances the appearance of public spaces for events, concerts, community gatherings, and achieves all of this at zero cost to taxpayers, a true hometown give back. So the opportunity for collaboration, we would ask that to help share this community collaboration, we kindly request recognition on the City of Loveland's official Facebook and Instagram account, maybe a brief feature in a newsletter, some before and after pictures, crediting the city's partnership, and then placement of branded signs in the areas that we cleaned. Our team is fully insured. We use professional cleaning, professional grade equipment, and specialize in safe, effective cleaning methods for public facilities. Additionally, we can schedule work to minimize disruption of that public space. Again, thank you for consideration of this opportunity to partner with a local business, the part of Loveland's story, and we look forward to keeping Loveland beautiful together. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is review and approval of the minutes from the July 22nd, 2025 meeting. Are there any changes or additions to that?
Make a motion to approve July 22nd meeting minutes.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Abstain. I was not present.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
All right, next is the second reading of an ordinance regarding the zoning map. Any further comment on that particular item? All right, go ahead and read that ordinance, please.
Ordinance amending the zoning map of the City of Loveland, Ohio to change the zoning district classification of certain properties located within the RLD Residential Low Density District to the A Agricultural Zoning District.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
I'm going to abstain because of my business.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Ordinance 75 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
All right, next is the ordinance regarding the Sugar Tree Estates Lighting District. Any further comment on that ordinance? Go Go ahead and read the ordinance, please.
Ordinance stating the intention of the city of Loveland to proceed with the Sugar Tree Estates Lighting District, which shall be paid by a special.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Ordinance 76 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Kennedy?
Actually, as we speak, the third and final phase of the Loveland Miamiville Road Sidewalk project is underway. That will complete that stretch that is connected. I don't know, it was 100 and something various homes. Well, the next phase, if you recall, City Council was presented with a Claremont County sidewalk pedestrian connectivity plan. One of the first projects we focused on was a run of sidewalks that went from St. Columban all the way out past White Pillars to future Claremont County Park. We were going to use Safe Routes to School, ODOT Safe Routes to School funding. The city submitted for a Safe Routes to School planning grant, which, if funded, would have led into adoption of the Safe Routes to School travel plan, which then the city would have been able to apply for construction. City did not get the travel plan funding. We will be reapplying next year, and that is good because the vast majority of every sidewalk stretch within the Claremont County pedestrian plan is a Safe Route to School. So we'll be able to just keep continuing within that project. With that in mind, we, in our efforts to keep moving forward with connectivity, we are looking at going ahead and putting the run, this sidewalk run in the 2026 CIP. What we did was, and we met with Claremont County Park District, we want to break it into a piece. The first piece will go from St. Columban, where the existing sidewalks end, right at the Church Drive, and will go to the entrance to White Pillar, and it would stop there, because our timing then with the next phase would line up with where the Claremont County Park will be. And it should work well of our discussions with the Park District. That stretch is actually going to be a trailhead, so our sidewalks could take everyone into the trailhead. And if you think about how many people then will have pedestrian access to this park, which is just going to be fabulous. So the problem is we need to move forward with some of the preliminary design and engineering on this project to really be able to narrow in on the cost. This particular project, while is not just a sidewalk project, and while this project does not have curb and gutter and does not have water line, it does have a pretty significant stormwater improvement at the low point in that stretch down there, which is actually an 84-inch pipe, to give you a perspective, which while we're doing this project, we'd have to do an extension on that. So what we're recommending to council is to move forward with design and engineering on this project. It's a good investment. It'll allow us zero in exactly what it's going to cost to get this project. It'll allow us to determine if we can move forward with this in the 2026 CIP. With that, we've got a cost estimate from Choice One Engineering. A little side note: the city did receive a small amount of Appalachian grant funding, and we used that money to do an alignment, right-of-way identification, and to do an examination of that stormwater. So we've already done some of that money work on this project.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for Mr. Kennedy? Yes, Mr. Bateman?
Just, you may have alluded to this, but in the past, as we know, going forward with this plan will maybe make it even more appealing for the Safe Routes for School application to have plans ready-made.
Yeah, we one thing we've learned, and Chris and I do it all the time, when you get turned down an application, always follow up, because there's a reason why. Their answer was a lot of people applying, and a lot of people have been applying for many years. Your time will come, just keep reapplying. And we obviously we've already got the date set on the calendar. The Safe Routes to School program, if funded, and the school travel plan would set the city up for 5 consecutive years of up to $500,000 for construction. If you can envision $500,000 increments on that Claremont County connectivity plan, that would make some major jumps. We could potentially be doing 2 phases at a time. So we're very well aware, and we learn, and we'll move on and reapply.
Thank you.
Mr. Hart?
Are there any property ownership concerns along the stretch at all?
There is some right-of-way the city would need, but we would be working with St. Columban and the Archdiocese on that. We feel like it should be able to work with them. They will certainly benefit from this project. You can imagine the students from St. Columban being able to someday walk down to the Claremont County Park, which is going to be field trips, outdoor classrooms. I would think that we, given our relationship with them, I feel like we should be able to secure the right of way. The vast majority of it is the Archdiocese.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments, questions? All right, want to read the resolution, please?
Resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Choice One Engineering for professional design services, bidding, and construction supervision services in the furtherance of the Oakland Road State Route 48 sidewalk project.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Ori.
Yes.
Resolution 77 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Mrs. Richards.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm requesting council to approve the resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with DJX Construction for the City of Loveland Cedar Brook Drive Drainage Improvement Project. The city received a grant from Hamilton County for a long-standing drainage issue within the city. We held a bid opening on July 21st, and we received 3 bids. One from DJX Construction for $30,092.50. Alpha Demolition $41,430, and Loveland Excavating and Paving $42,605. Reviewed the bids, and based on the bid results, the DJX Construction was the lowest bidder with the bid of $30,092.50.
And this entire project is funded by Hamilton County, where the city's not putting in anything, correct?
Correct.
Anybody have any other questions regarding this? Yes, Mr. Hart.
How you said this is a long-standing issue? Like, how long have we been dealing with? Know about this?
I know based on just from when I first got here, looking at past emails, it has been, I believe, 10 years.
Oh.
That's based on what the knowledge I have. Just looking back, reviewing.
So a significant amount of time.
Yes.
Any other
Glad we can
questions?
get that taken
I'm
care of.
sorry. Anyone else? All right, we can go ahead and read the resolution, please.
Resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with DJX Construction for the City of Loveland Cedar Brook Drive Drainage Improvement Project.
Call the roll, please.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Ori,
Yes.
Mr. Ping.
Yes.
Resolution 78 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Mr. Weinich?
Thank you, Mayor. As you know, and as we all know, we've been working towards the improvements at our water treatment plant, specifically revolving around PFAS, dealing with the source water issues that we have. Just a little bit of history. Back in 2023, City Council approved the study to be done to determine what the most effective treatment option would be to treat for PFAS. This was completed by Burgess and Nyepel back in June of 2024. And we followed up with the Ohio EPA to get general plan approval. Basically, we've talked about this before, but the general plan is Ohio EPA's them saying what you're providing to us as a general plan is acceptable, and that was an arduous process. You have to prove several different factors. One of them specifically being why it does not make sense for your community and its residents financially to regionalize. And we were able to provide those financial numbers within that general plan to them, which was almost a 2-to-1 type of number. So with that general plan being approved, that allowed us to apply for principal loan forgiveness funding, which in essence is a grant for us for the design of the treatment plant. Prior to this, before we knew the magnitude of the design cost and what that would be, we actually did go out for requests for qualifications from competent engineering firms. And we went through that process and ranked them. When we went through the scope and fee negotiations, we came to the realization that we don't have the money for this currently. We need this funding. because the scope basically came back, scope and fee in the neighborhood of $2 million. The $2 million included construction engineering costs. So as I talk a little bit later about what we're proposing for the contract, you'll see the difference in cost, but that's because the construction engineering services are not part of that at this point. So recently, bringing us up to current day, we did get notification and received the loan agreement from Ohio EPA for the principal loan forgiveness in an amount of just north of $1.3 million. This allowed us now to be here at this stage where we're asking for the contract with AECOM Technical Services, who, as I said before, we vetted among 5 or 4 other firms, and they were identified by staff as the most qualified and competent firm to perform these tasks. They are an internationally recognized firm. They do a lot of the PFAS treatment design. Although Burgess and Nyepel did a fantastic job for the study, they were part of the vetting process also. But we felt with the expertise of AECOM and what they brought to the table, we feel they are going to provide us the best value and the best product that we're looking for this community. So with that said, we would ask that council authorizes us to enter into a contract with AECOM for $1,337,640. And once again, the fiscal impact to that will be zero to the water fund, as it will be 100% principal loan forgiveness.
All right, thank you. Does anybody have any comments or questions for Mr. Weinich? Mr. Ping?
Just one question. If you could clarify, you mentioned $2 million was the design fee number, but obviously that's more than 1.33. Is this a limited amount of design work, or how did the two get reconciled?
Yes. So the $2 million, that scope included construction engineering services, which is a large. So I forget the number of hours per week we had identified that they would be on site during construction, but essentially that number has been pulled out. When we talked to Ohio EPA, this design funding only qualifies to up to bidding, so up to your bid documents. The additional $650,000, $670,000 would be included for our next round that we would go for construction funding, which they currently cap at $4 million. And as you know, we've talked about this before, the potential price tag, which will be flushed out and will get tighter, but right now it's looking like a $17 million project. But that's the delta between those two.
Thank you.
Mr. Goodyear?
Actually, just answer the question I was wondering about future funding.
All right. Anyone else have any questions? All right, want to go ahead and read the resolution, please.
Resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with AECOM Technical Services for professional engineering services of PFAS treatment at the city's water treatment plant.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Resolution 79 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Thank you. Mr. Weinich?
Yes, thank you, Mayor, again. Before you is a communication from the city's Planning and Zoning Commission. A little history. This revolves around a special planning district. So I'll kind of walk through the next steps and how we got here. An applicant, JA Development LLC, they submitted an application for preliminary review of the establishment of an SPD. Specifically at the corner of West Main Street and Highland Street. If you're familiar, this was a property that was previously owned by the city, 2 properties on both sides that was owned by the city. It was sold before my time several years ago to a developer in the hopes that there would be development that would occur. This has gone through several iterations with several developers, all looking for other funding mechanisms to make a project work. I think I heard at one point this was somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 units. It got down to 60 units. We were at 50 units. But currently today, what was brought or has been brought to planning and zoning on May 28th, 2025, was a preliminary review of 23 single-family attached units on both sides of Highland. They're in like 3 to 4 unit pods. So the reason this is being brought as an SPD, they're looking to split these into individual lots. So they will be they'll be owned individually. What happens down the road, we can't predict that, but this is a good thing because prior iterations were multifamily and owned by one single entity. So anyways, at their preliminary review, they completed that on June 17, 2025 in front of P&Z. And based on that preliminary review, P&Z felt it may in fact meet the requirements of an SPD, which is called out in section 1151. And after that, they set a public hearing, which occurred on August 5th, 2025. And following that public hearing and receiving input from the public, which actually I don't believe there was any at that meeting, they voted unanimously in favor to recommend for the initiation of the SPD to City Council. So at this point, the process is they forward, in your packet, you'll see the final action letter is forwarded on to City Council. And the next step would be for City Council to set a public hearing to look at the concept plan and development guidelines, as well as identify, and this is the crucial part, identify if it meets the written findings of fact, which are outlined within your memo. At this point, we feel, even though they haven't submitted their development guidelines and they haven't submitted their conceptual plan, which is a step above what planning and zoning requires, we've had conversations with the developer, and they feel that if council so pleases, September 9th for a public hearing would suffice for them. So that's up to you. We've gone both ways historically, where they've already submitted this stuff and staff's had a chance to look at it. But I believe there's ample time between now and then that staff would see it and have conversations. And if need be, we could potentially reschedule a public hearing. But essentially what staff is asking at this point, since the P&Z recommendation came back in favor, is to set a public hearing on September 9th at or about 7 p.m.
Could we wait until the next meeting in August to set a public hearing for September?
We could certainly do that. Yes.
Would they have I think they'd have their plans and guidelines in by then.
I will contact them, and yes, we can do that. Yeah.
That's just a thought.
Yep.
I was gonna.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
Obviously turn it over for questions, but also going to shoot it to you first, Mr. Bateman, since you're a representative to
Sure.
planning and zoning, and maybe you can give your insight too. As you think we should hold off on setting the public hearing and wait till they actually get these plans in, or so.
I see that. I think that would the public hearing. The question I have is, would that set the clock back to be? Could we still hold the public hearing on September 9th, or would we be moving it another 2 weeks?
So, two things. After the transmittal here from P&Z to City Council, there is no timeline for you to set a public hearing, so you can set it at any point. So that's fine. We just need 10 days, 10 days to put it in the circulation for the Inquirer. So as long as it backs up into that, which it would, we would have the public notice ready to go out. Ready on 2 Tuesdays from now, or 2 weeks from now, so we'd be ready to go. So we could make that happen. Yes.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I think that could be a prudent move to wait until the next council meeting, and for a couple of reasons. One would be the advantage of having that information in advance, both from a staff perspective, and even if it made it to our packet, to where we might be able to take a look at that. So I definitely agree with that. But I also think that. At P&Z, and I will, just to be frank, I'm getting over a summer cold, so I wasn't able to cast a vote at the P&Z meeting that sent this here. But I do remember when we first saw this, and we've seen quite a few recommendations or applications for a special planning district, and to get to this point, the bar is to make sure that it fits the purpose and scope. And I remember thinking, and it seems my colleagues also thought similarly, that this certainly exceeds the threshold of meeting the purpose and scope of what an SPD, what they're trying to do, certainly meets that threshold, in my opinion. So I would say that yeah, if we can have more information, that's always better, and if we can have that in the public record, that's also good as people come to comment on the public hearing or at the public hearing. So I would be in favor of waiting till the next meeting before we make the public hearing official.
All right. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Weinich on this matter? All right. Do you need to do anything with the final
Do we
action
need a
letter?
motion to table or anything? I'm sorry.
No, no, you do not need to for us. We'll go back and talk to the developer, and I will have a short memo just briefly going over, what we have. If we don't have anything, then we push it, and we'll go from there.
I did have one more question. Sorry. Could you just talk through a little bit, just for our own refreshing our memories, what happens after the public hearing? Like, what's the process beyond that if it were to move forward?
Yeah. So, in your packet, so when the public hearing occurs, you'll be reviewing the conceptual design, which, quite frankly, is very close to what you saw at P&Z. The biggest difference is the development guidelines. We've created here at staff level, we've created a checklist that comes straight out of our code of the things that they have to identify as to what the development is accomplishing. So it's everything from setbacks to parking to, it's probably 40 some things. Okay. So they will have all that in front of you. And then they also have to provide a statement. And this is the most crucial part of what you'll be deciding after that public hearing, is if it meets the findings of fact for establishment of an SPD district. And they should provide a narrative that answers one of these three. It has to answer one of these three conditions. A concentration of retail and service-oriented commercial establishments serving as a principal business activity center for the community. B, so it's not going to be these first two. B, the land that is occupied by substantial natural characteristics worthy of preservation or which are historic aids to the identification of residential communities which help residents relate to their communities and to relate to the social organization of communities to their physical environments. Or C, this is the critical one, lands which permit for ingenuity, imagination, and design efforts on the part of builders, architects, site planners, and developers that can produce residential developments which are in keeping with overall land use intensity and open space objectives of the comprehensive plan, while departing from the strict application of use, setback, height, and minimum lot size requirements contained in the zoning code. So C will be your critical one that you'll be looking at, and then from that point, if you make a motion that it meets the findings of fact, then at that point a formal zoning map amendment will be initiated back at Planning and Zoning, and at that point there'll be another public hearing at Planning and Zoning for the zoning map and text amendment change.
Okay, thank you. I
Sorry,
appreciate
I was long-winded on
No,
that.
no, that was exactly what I was hoping to hear, and now it's all coming back to me.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions, comments? All right, and we are to City Council reports. The City of Loveland and the Loveland Arts Commission are thrilled to partner with the Cincinnati Shakespeare Company to present a Midsummer Night's Dream for our community. That will be this Friday, August 15th at 7 p.m. at the Nisbet Park Amphitheater, and it is a free outdoor performance. Does anyone else have any news to report? I think more than one of you were at the Kiwanis ribbon cutting. No, you were, Mr. Ping. Anyone else? Do you want to talk about that?
Mr. Hart
Yeah, I
was there as well.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's actually really exciting that we're bringing Kiwanis back to Loveland. Obviously, there's a history of a Kiwanis organization. It was 25 years ago that left. So we have a history here, and it's nice to get an organization that provides the type of community resources and assets and looking out for our young people that Kiwanis does. Mr. Ping did a nice job in your stead, Mayor Bailey, reading the proclamation. I know the people that were there. I have gotten a couple emails. I'm sure Mr. Ping is as well about how thankful they are. The Kiwanis organization is excited to be back in Loveland. I think that everybody's excited to have 35 charting members. Was where it started. They said their goal was 15 to start an organization. So obviously, there's a lot of excitement in the city of Loveland to have Kiwanis back here.
I'd also mention Misty is on the board as well, so we don't want to forget her.
Very nice.
Picture in the week.
You might want to take a picture.
She'll be in the week.
All right. Anyone else have any news to report? All right. We have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Orry,
Yeah.
Mr. Payne,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
carries 6-0.
Yeah.